You can.
Just fucking jack the signal.
Or
the police that would turn up would more likely be the dirty cops. The hut pays to turn up, scare the journalists off, and then say everything is fine, than actual police.
Yeah, you see, it's like, or how about if you triggered like all the fire alarms? The firemen would still show up and would enter the premises to make sure there's no fire.
Or the guards would just say, "Oh no, false alarm."
And that's not how it works with firemen.
Yeah.
Like they.
But you're also assuming the firemen aren't paid off as well by the huts.
Why the hell would they pay off the
Yeah,
firemen?
they wouldn't pay off the firemen. This isn't completely correct. Say,
like, I'm willing to stretch my credulity and say, like, okay, the police maybe, but the firemen? In what universe does the Hut's plan hinge on them bribing the firemen?
If they want to arsonize someone...
if the Huts have knowledge, they can get their dirty cops here, but they haven't bought off the entire police force. That's what I'm roughly assuming.
So anyways, there's relative freedom of press. That's pretty much all we've got going on this planet, right?
Thus far.
I'm assuming the Huts have started to corrupt the institutions, but it's not fully corrupt.
Not fully there.
Yeah, but again, if you release the stuff to the press, by the time they get hold of it and the story becomes a thing, the Huts can either move or destroy everything. Like, there's no reason why, as soon as the Huts see it happen, that they don't set fire to this place.
Well, if this place gets attacked in a missile attack...
Well, the issue with a missile attack is that's pretty much, like, directly... Well, I mean, I suppose it doesn't really matter, because that would still be, again, another one of those on-the-nose, it's this place that was being targeted, somebody wants you to see this.
And the journalists are all a few blocks away.
I still suggest you guys start a fire. It's the simplest way that doesn't completely screw everyone.
All these completely crazy plans.
It's the simplest, but it's also the least likely to work, simply because fire is mundane, and mundane things are more easily ignored. No one cares about a warehouse fire unless it's spectacular or there's good news footage.
But the point is that
if that's spectacular, all the evidence is going to be destroyed in the process.
Also, it's a missile. It's not going to blow up the entire warehouse. It's not huge. It's an RPG, essentially. It'll blow a hole in the wall.
Rather than firing the thing, you could just set it up to explode next to the warehouse.
It's going to blow a hole in the wall. It's not going to blow literally everything up at once. Like, its blast only hits things in personal range with its blast radius.
I hate to say this, but I have a plan.
Go on.
Okay, so we have just made contact with a lot of people who are journalists, so we have a source of this information once we actually get it off.
You're currently talking to a lot of journalists, yes.
Yeah, okay, well, I'm not turning around right now and saying that we lead to this very group of journalists at the exact moment, because that just draws suspicion to us. How the hell do we get our hands on it?
Yeah, how do we know?
But
how would we know anyway?
What I'm basically saying is we don't need a loud exit from the warehouse, and we don't have to make a massive draw to it. All we have to do is get the stealth team out without making it screamingly obvious, and we now know who to feed it to reliably. I mean, I just question the necessity of missile attacks or burning the place down.
We don't need to do anything right now, yes. We can just leave and note this place is rigged and keep the video for later. We can go and hunt down, say, those politicians which the Huts have corrupted.
I would be fine with that. Get more and more of a case together that it's not just one single thing, but like there are so many things. Even it's hard to say every single part of it is one big conspiracy, since all of them are linked together. So I'd be fine with that. Just making a recording of this, making sure none of us are seen in the recording.
Yes.
Recording the label of the place and then leaving. Though the issue is they know that we've been in here because this guy got knocked out.
However,
I'm thinking that
if
we
we
could
prop him up like he just fell asleep at his desk, he might just brush it off as a weird dream.
Or we could throw him out the window. Just throw out the window and stage him suicide / falling out the window. He doesn't have to die. He doesn't have to die. He just has to have fallen out the window.
But surely he'll realize something happened to him.
He'll say,
Why
"Oh,
would
someone shot me. I was unconscious and I was thrown out the window."
Lake,
Anyway,
what are you trying to
how
say?
insane
Can we
does
make
that
a
sound?
medicine test to see what the what the effects would be? Like, since he pretty much did not see us when we shot him, and he completely went unconscious, what would be the residual effects? Would he even remember that he was shot with a stun bolt? Like, is it kind of obvious if you've been shot with a stun bolt?
Well,
Well,
considering I hit him full in the face,
I think
I don't think there would be any lasting effects after he woke up.
Yeah, the point is, like, can we just play it off as him, like, falling unconscious or having a stroke or something and falling out the window? I'm sure
We're
he
not
might-
murdering someone just so we
He
have a
doesn't need
better cover.
He doesn't need to have actually died falling out the window. He can just be bruised and shit. Like, it's a
We're not throwing someone out of a window just so we have a better cover.
Okay. The
The
problem
second
is the
story
death
floor,
part
as
is-
long as his head doesn't hit the ground, he's
But the
probably
point
going to
is
be fine
why.
for cover.
If we're
Can I
not
check
saying
for-
he might die, it's why we need to necessarily complicate it by tossing him out the window in the first place.
Did you guys check for like hidden recording devices in the office that you are when you went in?
That's a good point. Is there CCTV in here?
Yeah, like did you check?
No.
I
didn't
think I
check.
found out what Gray's despair is.
Well, the idea.
Yeah.
Well, Gray already banked / used the despair on literally the people here know that we are wanted bounties. But
No, he hasn't actually said what he's using it on.
oh yeah, that is true. But I was actually about to make a test because we've been arguing for so long to like start cleaning up the traces so that there weren't logins of.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
like
go,
Maybe
I'm
check
gonna-
if there's CCTV.
I'm gonna go and sneak forward a bit and get some better footage of like voting booths while not being seen.
Sure.
Hilo's gonna prop the guy up so it just looks like he fell asleep at his desk.
So okay, we're going back to action. We've been arguing for I think 30 minutes.
Something like.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, we've done worse.
We
We
have
really
done
have.
worse, but still, yeah.
I mean, for God's sake, we spent 4 hours in a Schnozberg Nebula.
Yeah, you did. Didn't you set that whole thing alight?
That was the way we got out of it in the end, yeah.
You burnt down an entire nebula.
It was
That
a
was made of
Schnozberg
alcohol.
warp cube, okay? Wasn't exactly friendly.
But yes,
Not
they
to
burnt
mention it,
down
we
an
hadn't burnt
entire
it down.
nebula. It was great.
Not to mention, if we hadn't burnt it down, Trust would have tried to drink it all.
Anyways, stealth check to get better views of the crates while not being seen by the guard who's on the cook terminals.
Yep, I'm going to upgrade that.
And computer's test to to clear my tracks / figure out if there's recordings and
Oh, can I have a few boost dice from the guard being distracted?
Yeah, a couple of boosts.
what would be the difficulty of my check?
That'd be average again upgraded.
Okay. Hell, I'll counter upgrade. Alright.
Yep, you clean up. Get a nice shot of inside of the warehouse. That's the word I'm looking for. My brain is not. I've been up since 3 this morning. My brain just keeps firing randomly.
Ugh.
So yeah, you get yours cleaned up, prop the guard up.
Let's get out of here.
Shut the
Let's
window
get
on
out.
our way down.
And
You're out.
team utter mess. Can you wrap up your press conference nicely and leave without getting lynched?
Also,
Well,
yeah.
do we need to actually roll for that even, Gray, or is it a
No,
relatively easy?
no, you can just wrap it up.
Cool.
so also for shits and giggles, so you put the guy into his seat, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey,
Yeah.
what was that roll?
Seeing if he remembered.
And he does.
Yeah, but the threat probably means no one believes him.
I was about to say, remembering and people believing you is a different matter.
So
I was
what?
about to actually do a silly thing and just shoot him again with the stun bolt, so he doesn't wake up for a while.
Oh no, this is when you're gone. What I'm going to say that means is that basically somebody comes in to check on him, discovers him asleep at his desk. His excuse is some guys broke in here and stunned me. And they just go, yes, yeah. Obviously, rebels broke in, the Republic agents broke in, stunned you, didn't take anything, and left.
And put you back in your chair.
There's no evidence. Yeah, put you back in chair. There's,
You are fired, mister.
Yeah, your ass is friends.
Oh god, no. This is gonna be just like that Robot Chicken one where, like, we just totally ruined the architect's life. or who was it?
I don't know. I haven't seen Robot Chicken in so long.
Well, essentially the bar scene where the one guy gets his arm cut off. And,
Oh,
that was just
right.
because
Yeah, I forgot about
yeah,
that.
it's like literally his whole life is ruined by that one moment because his friend's a jerk.
Except,
But yeah, it's the guard. Hopefully, the guard is not going to do anything with his knowledge. He's just going to stew quietly about how no one believes him.
Stu, the guard, will declare us his arch enemy forevermore. He will find us. He will prove that we were the ones who did it.
he's gonna be raving about us on the street within a month.
He has been upgraded from minion to rival. Such is his rage, such is his passion.
So,
God damn
we'll
it.
safe aboard the ship now.
yep, I'll put you all aboard the ship.
I think the
Yeah,
idea.
What terrible thing befalls us, Gray?
Nothing so far.
I think the idea that was that we were going to try and
Yeah.
we have a list of politician names. We're going to try to hit up some of them and either speak
Literally?
if they're. Oh, go ahead.
Well, it depends if Valance is involved, how literally, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, I'm all up for blackbacking them, but I actually can't do coercion.
Well, we happen to have not.
It's like we have a coercion specialist.
Not, however, I'm sure, has
You
ways of
fancy-
making them talk.
Do you fancy a bit of unorthodox interrogation techniques, as they used to call them?
Well, I mean, you know, I suppose we can interrogate him. I was actually hoping to more just grab their electronic stuff and then, like, you know, break this thing wide open. We can do interrogation, but, you know, be gentle.
We could go full on payday and do both, to be fair.
Yeah.
Also, they can't seem to be relatively good at keeping their communications clean. You can kind of glimpse the message, but it's not blaring.
Yeah.
Blaring shit.
You've got an idea what's going on. You couldn't prove it in a court of law.
Could try
Yeah.
to blackmail him.
We just have a ton of suspicion, which unfortunately is not necessarily good enough.
So, you want to black bag someone then?
Well,
Yeah,
before
sure.
we-
Let's go and do all the way. Let's go and do all the way up. Let's do like the highest known official we can do.
rather than just blackbagging him, I do think we should wait until he's in an office or something valuable to the actual organisation, so we hit his computers at the same
I was thinking we get them at home. They're at home, they're relaxing at night, their computer is almost definitely there with them because these kind of people take their work home.
Okay.
And then we break into their house and interrogate them in their homes.
To what end?
To working out what the Huts are doing and getting a better idea of the evidence.
But in theory, the probably most we'll uncover is that the Huts are bribing or blackmailing or whatevering this particular politician, which we know.
Yes, but we need proof of it. And
Which
and
we
you-
extract under torture. Well, not exactly torture, but we extract under dubious
Duress.
circumstances, which we can't then
Yeah,
present
but
to the
if we
court.
publicly release it to the media, and the media do a more thorough investigation, they find
And-
the actual evidence.
Carcer, they're not being blackmailed or anything. They're cooperating with the Huts to get office.
And also, we tell them, you don't do this, I murder you right now.
Yeah, but you see that
Okay.
we then have a problem again.
Let's rein it back slightly from that, shall we?
Yeah, but still, it's like there's a lot of plausible deniability in a bunch of men broke into my house and are now framing me for collusion with the Huts.
Once we have a voiced confession that we can say send to the media, the investigation
look.
is going to go and bring in there.
Yeah, but a bunch of dudes broke into my house and forced me to say this thing is
But
literally the
point
perfect
is, it
defense
goes
against.
wider than the one guy. Once the suspicions are in there, they're going to keep investigating. Even if the guy that says, "Oh, some guys broke into my house and forced me to say this," they're still going to do the investigation and find out what's up. especially with the other evidence, e.g., the voting booth video.
I
I love it when a plan comes together in a big old mess.
I
love it when a plan comes together. Ours just never do.
yeah.
Well, it's more that we have so many plans that they're like just enveloping each other.
There's no one good plan for the situation. That's the issue.
No, and I think
Everything has
that's
flaws.
that's entirely why Gray is doing this.
Yes.
Oh, of course.
However it
Good
goes,
God.
we can make it backfire on us.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll tell you what.
Which is also kind of why I think the idea is we do multiple things so we get like essentially keep building it so or any more like you can read into it that, but it's like the problem is finding a smoking gun. The smoking gun is the warehouse.
Well, my
The smoking
idea
gun
for
the smoking gun are kind of sort of those emails that are saying like, okay, let's push the polling, obviously our special polling into these areas. So
well,
we can.
there's an alternative thing in that we know the guy who's organising all this. It's the Hutt agent. We find out where he's living or where he's spending most of his time. Break in, kill everyone, find the computers with the smoking gun on.
What
Because
is with
anything
you
can
and
happen.
kill everyone?
Yeah.
I'm a fucking bounty hunter.
Yeah, but
Bounty
like, tone it
hunters
down,
do
man.
not kill people very often.
Okay. Before we go
I
further down the
have-
plan rabbit hole, let's just assess what we actually have and work out what we actually need.
I voluntarily wield a giant
God damn it.
giant greatsword when, most people use normal stuff. Are you surprised my character's a bit homicidal?
No.
You'll turn into a nerf greatsword if you keep this up.
Okay, let's just drop the casual homicidal threats against you for 5 seconds. We have enough to prove very little right now. We have enough to prove the election machine fraud, which isn't necessarily enough to cause that big enough scandal that we need. As far as I can tell, we also currently have no proof that the Hutt provocateur is actually directly linked to the election machine fraud. We have proof that he's been going around greasing wheels inside the polling machine, the political machine, but not the actual movement of the election machines. We may not actually need to go after anybody in politics. What we may need to do is to tie those two together. I think we need to go after the provocateur. Because if we can prove he's connected to both of those events, we don't have to worry about causing a scandal with the local politicians. We've got all we need by proving that a Hutt off-world agent is literally causing the political overthrow of that.
Okay, I think we all agree on that front, but the issue is quibbling about the exact method we do this.
The issue isn't what we're going to do, it's how we're going to do it.
But what I mean is that I don't see how we really need to worry about working over blackbagging, whatever you want to call it, local politicians, when we can just go straight after the provocateur in this case.
Yeah, he will also hold all the evidence. Like
I mean,
all
we
the
know
other-
what he looks like, we know he has a name now. I think now's the time to actually do something slightly lighter, work out where the provocateur has got to and go after him. Which is significantly lower risk than going after the politicals.
Well, it's a bigger, I think, immediate risk, because he's going to be better guarded, but I think the ultimate reward will be better.
Yes. Yes, I quite agree.
Because ideally, if we find enough evidence, this scandal goes galactic.
Yep.
Let's go kidnap her.
Okay, let's think then. If we're
Well,
looking
actually-
to hunt down this provocateur... Sorry, go on.
Sorry, I just want to say, we could actually literally kidnap him and turn him up to Grog.
The provocateur, you mean?
Yes.
The issue is that wouldn't really... Gray?
But
Gray, did you make a third one?
yeah, I've just been doing that while you guys have been chatting.
These guys are on slippery ground. God damn it!
We're trying to be good people.
Like,
Wait a minute,
Well,
I
I
thought
think-
we
I
got
think
the
the
first one when we were starting to slip.
I think the issue is I think the issue that he's trying to make is being good people means that we're going to have to make sacrifices that we're not going to always win, or at least not always win without making that much more effort. We can't
legally
take the easy
extraditing
way out.
legally extraditing a Hutt citizen to Space Guantanamo, while may be effective, is probably not a good thing.
And besides getting
This
rid
comes
of
from the man that wants to kill everyone.
I am never intended to be a good
and
person.
the provocateur, getting rid of him doesn't change the game plan on the ground. We do want to nab him, though. We would actually like to nab his computer and whatever else he has.
Ideally,
Because
you make him confess.
if nothing else, he's probably talking. Not is he somewhat openly, because who the hell? Is he openly back to his employers?
God damn it! I'm trying to think how we can get him to confess. Like we can't kidnap him and make him confess. So can we do it with deception?
I mean the Hutts. Yeah, I mean the Hutts aren't like masterminds. They are criminals. They're kind of sloppy, but the entire point is that they thrive in a corrupt system. So if they can corrupt things, then they just kind of just don't give a shit anymore. They're a little bit more savvy because they're in politics now, but they're still, they're still Hutts.
We can't beat him up and force him to give us the information. Can we try to blackmail him and make him admit it as part of the blackmailing him, and then turn around?
Or
Are we
even
gonna
just
blackmail
con
him?
him. We could just
Get
con
him
him.
drunk.
Like,
Well,
Problem.
yeah.
None of us have deception.
we have deception.
Yeah, but you're
I
gonna
have
stab
deception.
him, and you're gonna. Do you?
Yes.
Yeah, I have 2 ranks in deception and 4 cunning. It's a cross-class skill for me, but I put the effort to put points in because deception's a really useful skill.
Okay.
Maybe a slight modifier on this. Instead of trying to blackmail him, we just simply con him into doing it. We find him, but try and butter him up with. Well, I mean, it was gone over earlier that at the end of the day, no matter how political they are, they still thrive in corruption. A good old-fashioned couple of backhanders, maybe, rather than anything too. Blackmail runs the risk of him just going around and turning around saying, "No, I don't care," and then exposing us. Whereas if we either trick him into it, or if we bribe him on board, there's much less risk. Right, that's what I'm saying.
Do we have the resources to bribe a Hutt?
No, but we have the people who
No.
could trick him into thinking that we have the resources.
Fair point.
We absolutely don't have the money. I do concede that, but we have people who might be able to make him think that we do.
So what's
We
the
don't-
cover story?
Sorry.
So what's the cover story?
Well-
what are we trying to sell to him?
Well, forgive me for this, Carl. So you're not going to like this, but
I'm really not. Literally.
No, not literally, but the rights, right? He's just turned around and broken the planetary champion. Right now, arguably, you are maybe in a very Healy way, one of the hottest items on the planetary wrestling circuit, right? What we do is we turn around and say to the Hutts, look, we are more than happy to, as an acknowledgement that we may or may not have rocked the boat quite badly here, allow the Hutts to get some publicity off of our candidate, off of our wrestler.
No.
And sorry.
Jar should loudly endorse the Republican instead. He's got
Why
negative press. He's got negative press and talking about how the candidate is such a good guy and how much he approves of him smashing the planetary champion to bits.
Okay, but that will actually.
That would hurt the
twist
Republican
whole-
cause.
That will actually sort of
That's
change the.
what we offer him. That's what we offer him.
Yeah, that makes sense, yes.
Okay,
And then-
offer that Jar will, to sell Jar's services, agent provocateur.
But then how do we get him to admit that he's rigging the election?
By
Is that-
engaging and sort of going, oh, yeah, so obviously we'll be doing this for the Hutts. Do we need to know about anything else going on? And we just sort of try and make sure that we don't want to trip over everybody else. Would be very.
Yeah, okay. I do just want to point out. I just want to point out that if you're doing this against the Hutt, he is going to have the world's greatest presence and willpower scores. You are going to smash yourselves against that if you try to deceive or coerce or whatever him.
Mm-hmm. That's the problem, yes. But we have to assume we can do it because otherwise, what do we do?
Set the whole plan on fire.
No,
See, I knew you were coming around.
no. You bastards bought ship legs. I'm not letting you set this planet on fire.
Okay, we then kick the whole planet over or something. I don't.
Just
Like,
because
the
you break
alternative
the
is-
spine doesn't mean you can break the spine of a planet.
Like,
I
the Hut himself will probably have the most incriminating evidence on his computer. So we could just continue to break into places and hack computer thing on on a bigger target.
While Team Jar is also trying to butter the Hut up.
I think this is a point. Yeah, you can distract him, bringing away with that, and then we know that.
Take him away from
Yeah.
his compound or whatever. Should make it easier to break into. Sure, why not?
That works. We could run with that.
It's only taken how long of discussion to figure out what we're going to do?
Well, apparently it takes quite a lot to convince some of you people that arson is a bad idea.
It's a really nuanced situation we're in, right? It's a lot more complicated than usual. Go there, punch those guys.
Yeah, I know. God damn it,
It is
Ray. How
true.
dare you expose us to politics?
Well, I'm sorry, giving you an actual moral choice.
It's
Hey, we're trying!
Yeah, no, you are
It's
trying.
taken us
So long.
It's taken us about half an hour to get to the point that we've already made twice this planet.
Just from another target, yeah. So yeah, what if he doesn't have incriminating evidence there? I'm assuming he does, but
We'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it, because, to be honest with you, it would be very weird if the Agent Provocateur didn't have evidence. Or if his computer didn't. He might not have it on his person, but I'd be shocked if he didn't have some kind of proof somewhere in his compound.
mm-hmm.